I've been playing the chimes for half my life. I think often about what if I had picked a different school and I hadn't gone to Cornell at all. It's a tremendous part of who I am and the life that I live and the things that are important to me. So I tried out for the chimes my freshman year and played throughout my whole time at Cornell. Ended up becoming the advisor, so it's been over 20 years now that I've been playing the chimes.
It's quite a lot of work to join the chimes, but it's totally worth it. And for me, it's been my network at Cornell. It's been my connection to people here.
Having the chimes gave me the opportunity to, play music and be passionate about music again in a way that I hadn't been kind of since high school.
One of my favorite facts is that we got the bells before we had a tower to put them in.
So in 1868, when Ezra Cornell and A.D. White were founding the university, Jenny McGraw went to A.D. White and said, I have all this money and I would love to help you with your university, what could you use? And of all the things that he could have chosen, he said, we would love to have some bells for our university.
And so Jenny McGraw, she ended up donating money for the bells, but only for the bells and not for any peripherals at all. So the bells kind of sat actually on the present side of the tower now, but on the ground in a wooden frame.
They were played in a temporary stand on the ground for 4 years. And then in 1872, they were put in one building, McGraw Hall on the Art Squad. And then in 1891, when Uris Library was finished, they were put in the tower here.
There's a lot of history in this place, a lot of people who've been through here. You can see graffiti all the way back from the early 1900s. The space you're experiencing and the instrument you're playing is something that ties you to people who were here before, even 100 years ago.
I was a chimes master basically from 1987 until 1992.
From 1955 to 1958.
You don't want to know.
And I actually heard the bells my first day on campus, and it was just such a wonderful sound. And I've got to find out how I can get involved.
The chimes competition is a 10-week tryout period every spring. You have to be able to read music and climb 161 stairs. And you spend 4 weeks practicing the alma mater, the evening song, and the piece we play every morning called the Jenny McGraw Rag. And after 4 weeks, there's a silent audition where you show the head chimes master that you've learned to play those 3 pieces. There's a little sight reading piece, and if you pass that audition, then you get to go on to the second stage where you play out loud twice a week for the next 6 weeks. Most of that time there's a chimes master up there with you, working as a mentor, as a coach, telling you what to work on for your next concert. And at the end of the 10 weeks, all of the chimes masters sit at the base of the tower and listen to your final 4 concerts and determine whether you've reached that level of mastery that we're looking for somebody to be considered a chimes master.
The chimes masters have really become pretty tight. We just played and left in the 50s, and they get together. They have, for instance, Halloween, everybody comes up in a costume and plays spooky music or whatever.
The Halloween concert started 51 years ago. We decorate the tower, and the chimes masters turn the faces of the clock into big pumpkins. There were no bells played during the 1998-1999 school year. In 1998, we did a really big renovation and tuning project. So there was structural work that needed to be done on the tower. There was all sorts of work that needed to be done, like repointing the masonry, replacing the columns at the top in the belfry. So there was a lot of that sort of work that needed to be done. Simultaneously, it had been observed that the bells really weren't well tuned, because some of them were from like early 1900s, others are from late 1900s. They'd never been tuned as a set. So in 1998, when the tower was going to be renovated anyway, they took all of the bells out and they sent them to Meeks & Watson, which is a bell foundry. And all that work was being done in Ohio, while here they were doing work on the building itself. We really needed to make a concerted effort to keep that feeling of community, keep everybody feeling connected in whatever ways we could. We got to climb the scaffolding of the tower to actually the roof level, touch the roof of the tower. We ate our lunch up there, and somebody brought kazoos, and we sat at the top of the tower, like humming the alma mater into kazoos, and looking out over this beautiful day and still feeling connected with our instrument. Even though like the bell part of the instrument was not here, we were still involved and together. I can't judge a place that doesn't have the money to do the millions of dollars of renovations that would be needed so that the tower doesn't fall down around the person playing. We're really lucky that this tower has been maintained so well, and that we've had the support to keep playing.
This is a defining experience at Cornell.
It's always very special to come
It's kind of an experience that every single Cornellian shares.
The people I bonded with the most quickly and the most completely were far and away the chimes
To
masters.
get up in the bells and play. That remains a very valued and treasured experience.